A Covid-19 vaccine for New Zealanders could still be up to 2 years away, but the government is shelling out hundreds of millions of dollars to make sure the country doesn't miss out. The exact amount of funding, which will come out of the $50 billion Covid-19 war chest, is being kept secret to ensure New Zealanders get the best deal possible. It will go towards helping New Zealand join and further develop global partnerships, as well as boosting science efforts and manufacturing capacity in this country. Here's our political editor, Jane Patterson.
With these purple pieces that are the spikes, and this is called coronavirus because when you look at this under an electron microscope, these all look like a crown around a small particle. So this is why this is the name. This cartoon shows...
A science lesson for the Prime Minister was part of the deal today at the Malligan Institute in Wellington, as Jacinda Ardern announced a significant pot of money to help New Zealand secure a future vaccine.
New Zealanders should rest assured that we are focused on safety, we're focused on effectiveness and access as well as cost.
Ms Ardern's been talking to international leaders in Germany, Canada and in particular Australia, which last week announced a deal guaranteeing access to a vaccine being developed by Oxford University. New Zealand's also committed to making sure its Pacific neighbours benefit from any work being done now. Research, Science and Innovation Minister Megan Woods says being able to manufacture at scale is a key part of the plan.
We couldn't just manufacture enough for the team of 5 million if we were going to secure international licensing agreements to manufacture. We needed to be able to manufacture at internationally competitive commercial volumes. So that is, depending on the vaccine, BioCell will be able to manufacture up to 100 million doses.
Nationals leader Judith Collins says New Zealand has to be in the game.
You have to do what you have to do when it comes to a vaccine. I'm sure there are also people working here as well, but it is important that if at all possible that New Zealanders are not the last people to get a vaccine. We may be one of the most remote and isolated countries in the world, but we shouldn't be the last people to get a vaccine, because I will certainly be signing up to get one if I meet whatever criteria they put in place.
Scientists are still learning about the virus, says Professor Graham LaGrosse, Director of the Institute, which is crucial to creating an effective vaccine.
The brutal truth is that we don't know a lot about this virus and how to make an effective vaccine against it. It's a relatively simple virus, but we actually have to learn in a time frame which is just really not, is unprecedented.
He says a vaccine could be up to 2 years away.
We must be patient. We must believe in what we're trying to do here. We must believe in the financial instruments which have been put in place to try and really work with the world and work with ourselves to give us it'll be as fast as possible.
Based on what researchers are seeing now, Associate Professor James Usher from the Vaccine Alliance says the prospect of the virus mutating is not an overriding concern.
Unlike some other viruses such as influenza, this virus has genetic mechanisms that do reduce the amount of mutation. We will just need to wait and see whether vaccines require updating. At the moment, there's no evidence of mutations that show escape from the current vaccines.
The money comes from the COVID Response and Recovery Fund, from funding set aside earlier in the year, not from the $14 billion put aside for a future response. From Parliament for Checkpoint, Jane Patterson.